Hello, I'm just going to share this video here in a second until it opens up. Okay, gonna share it over to my page, Women Creating Healthy Lives. And if you are a woman over 40, come by and join that group because I post a lot of trainings there, a lot of recipes, meal ideas. It's a great community of women who are over 40 going through the same stuff in their life, right? This midlife change. Now I gotta watch. Women. Okay, so tonight, whatever, the topic of discussion. Okay, eating. So let me put this in. For weight loss or eating for health. Difference. And I know it's funny because I just posted that I talk a lot about weight loss lately, and it is not my favorite topic. Who's watching? Hey, Mary. Hi. Yeah, so talking about weight loss. See, I never really actually used to. When I first started, I was into raw foods. I was a raw food chef working with raw food recipes and stuff. And then I went through the perimenopause, menopause, started gaining weight. That's when I realized, oh my God, this is a whole different thing, a whole different topic, whole different time of my life, all the changes. And that's kind of what really brought me to working with women over this age, right? Going through changes, because what a huge difference it makes in what you need to eat, how you need to think, how you need to live, etc. And, but then of course, when most women come to me, it's usually about the weight, because that's something so physical and it can be so different for them. So they haven't gone through it before, maybe like I hadn't, and all of a sudden you're dealing with the weight gain and you're like, oh my God. And it's different. It's stubborn, right? It's different than it was in your 20s, 30s. If you had that problem, even early 40s, it's completely different. But there is a difference between eating for weight loss and eating for health, of course. I know you're thinking that sounds so, of course, right? When you're eating for weight loss, sometimes you go on these restrictive diets that have very strict guidelines, and you're doing something, you're following a plan for a specific length of time. And so it's got you focused on doing the actions, doing what it takes, making those certain recipes, following it to exact. The thing is with that is, for one, your focus is just on the weight, not necessarily health. Lots of times it's just on calories. And like I've said before, 100 calories of broccoli is a lot different than 100 calories of sugar, although they're both 100 calories, right? So that's not really what always makes a difference. But so you're so geared on working with that program and doing it in that little structure. And then when the program's over, you're not sure what to do, because all you've done is worked on something that's been given to you. So it's like, a plan, here it is. And when you don't have that plan in front of you, or that support, or that person telling you what to do, then you kind of go, I really don't know what to do, because you haven't come to and had the experience of figuring out what works for you, working through everyday life, working through everyday foods that you would really have every day. And how are you going to do that and actually maintain weight, right? Without being restrictive like you have. So diets and restrictive diets and fad diets and all that, people usually gain all the weight back. That's just usually what happens, because when it comes to the normal life after, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to have a normal life, eat normally, or what should be kind of normal. What is that now for them at this phase of their life? So that makes a big difference. So eating for weight loss is basically eating really light and really clean for a period of time until you kind of choose, oh, okay, I see, I've lost the weight. Now, some people, like, I'm not talking about the crazy diets where you eat a whole bunch of fat and stuff, and where you put your body in ketosis or whatever, and you end up losing all this weight. But if you really use common sense and think that eating all those heavy, fatty foods is not good for you, for your heart, for one. I'm talking about, like, restricting calories or eating really light and clean so that you lose the weight, or doing some sort of a cleanse. Now, that's okay for a period of time, right? So if you are somebody who's like, I just want to shed this way, I want to release it, I want to kind of get rid of this now, I want to do whatever it takes, I'm going to do what it takes, I'm going to eat clean, I'm just going to buckle down, then the best process to do is to do that, but also do it with an eating plan that is healthy food, so you're getting the nutrients, the actual nutrient-dense foods, right? That have the vitamins, the minerals, the essential fatty acids, amino acids, those foods, but you're going to be eating lighter, so you'll probably let go of any of the heavy starches for a while. You probably will cut back maybe on the fatty meats for sure, right? So you're changing that way. You're getting in a lot more vegetables, a lot more greens, and foods that have nutrient dense but less calories. So you're kind of focusing not a lot of oils, maybe, not a huge amount of fats right now. I just want to eat really clean, really lean, and you are able to lean out and lose the weight. If, of course, you don't have major stress in your life or at a stage where the hormonal fluctuations are really off the wall. And when I was in perimenopause, I did lose weight at a time when most women are gaining. But I also looked at like all the levels of things. So I worked at my releasing the stress. So I changed my life a lot. I said no to things that I was saying yes to. I restrict, I didn't restrict myself in a bad way. I started saying no to things that weren't serving me, and I started saying yes to things that were going to serve me better, and that included eating the right foods, so getting more of the right foods, saying no to, any of the processed foods, the packaged foods, the starches at that time I let go of, wasn't eating meat. And so I really kind of brought in the lean, clean foods, and that's what I did, and lots of those. I also had high raw recipes, so I was still eating some of the nut pâtés, which are quite heavy, but they're actually so nutrient dense, and good oils, you don't have to worry about it. So it's just mostly you want to focus, like really get what you really kind of need to eat and drink and do, and then you do it. Where sometimes people have the idea they want to lose the weight, right? And then get into something and realize, it's just too much work. It's just something I can't do. So you got to know, like, are you really ready for it? Or is the actual releasing weight or losing weight, is that something, yes, you definitely want? Because if it is, then you've kind of got to do and follow through on doing what it really takes. And that could take a longer period of time if you are in middle age, right? That's just the way our body is, right? Especially if you haven't taken care of yourself and you're like over menopause and you haven't cleaned up what you've eaten until you're looking at doing it now, then it could take you a lot longer just because of the way your body is and what your body's used to and what it's not used to. And it takes time for our body to detoxify some of the things, to get rid of the toxins that are holding on to the fat. So if we need to release the fat, we may also need to, we need to get rid of the toxins first. And that means no preservatives, no junk, no nothing that has those toxins in them. So really eating clean, living in a clean environment, like cleaning your home with toxin-free chemicals, your skin too, like you do using all natural skin products. So it's really, if you want to do it the healthy way and focus on eating for health, when you eat for health and you focus on the health, to me, that's the number one best way to do it, because you're improving your health, which will help you with living longer, living healthier, living better. But will you lose weight super fast? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So if you are somebody who's like, okay, I want to do it the healthy way, but I also really want to see a difference and really want to shed and release the weight now and see the big differences, then it does take something you're being more strict with it and really doing what it takes. Whether that requires doing a 10-day juice and smoothie fast at the beginning to kind of really get those toxins released from your body. Whether it means sticking to kind of not a plan, but like finding out yourself, what are the foods I need to really be consuming now and working on, including into my diet? What are some really good recipes with nutrient-dense foods that taste good, that I'm going to enjoy, that I'm going to love? Then eat that consistently for quite a while until you see results. Because you're not, as soon as you give up, then you gave up again, then you're not going to get the results, right? That's not doing what it takes. It really requires having that mindset where you say, I know what I want, I'm going to work towards that. I can sense what I really desire, how I want my body to be, how I want to feel. And then you keep your mind on that. And note that when you're making those changes, which could seem like quite different and quite an extreme for you, you are changing yourself inside at the same time, because you're working towards something you want. So you are kind of becoming a little bit of a different person. You're becoming the type of person who is committed to this, who is putting health first, who is beginning to say no to things that don't serve you anymore, who maybe you end up changing some friends, or you change where you eat, you change some of the things you do, you become more active. So you see what I mean? Like there's changes on, as in what you eat, but there's also changes that have to come from within. You have to believe that this is possible for you. You have to want it. You have to believe you're worth it. You have to commit and decide that, yes, I am going to do this and I'm going to do what it takes. And then you have to be like, get rid of the all or nothing attitude and know that there's ups and downs. There's this kind of a roller coaster thing emotionally and with your weight, with how you feel, right? Because it is not just like this. It's very much usually not just like this or weight loss like that. There's ups and downs and all arounds, and especially because we're women. That's very natural for what our body does, right? So I hope that made kind of sense. Who else joined me? Kathy. Oh, Kathy, I see. My eyes can barely see. But that's a message for tonight. It's more like, what I really want to get is that, yes, you can eat really super clean and follow a diet and really get and release that weight, but are you going to be able to maintain it after? Because have you learned how to actually have a normal life where you eat really healthy, highly nutritious, nutrient-dense foods? Have you brought that into your real life so that that is normal for you? Because when that becomes your normal, right? When this is just the way you are, I eat healthy, I exercise, I feel great, that's your normal, then you're going to stick with it. But if it's something that's so abnormal for you and out there and restrictive and hard to follow, you're not going to follow it, you're not going to stick with it, and you'll probably just gain the weight back. You see what I mean? But yeah, I am opening up a couple spaces to one-on-one working with me. There's a darn thing. Working with me one-on-one, and I completely take you through this journey for 8 weeks, step-by-step process, starting from exactly where you are now, bringing you through that process so that you see, oh my God, this is how it's done. This is how it integrated into my life. This is how it begins to feel normal. This is what I need to, like you really learn, okay, how you need to think and be, because you're becoming someone a little different than you are now. If you were that person now, you would already be there. Right? So we know that when we make changes in our life, we become someone a little different. Our life changes a bit. But that takes the structure, that takes someone to guide you, that takes someone to see things that you are missing and you have missed, that you have, because otherwise you'd be there already, right? The support, the accountability, and all of that. And that's what we do within that 8 weeks. If you are interested in working with me at that level and completely designing the program for you, then contact me on Facebook. Or you can go to Women Creating Healthy Lives and contact me from there. Or, of course, on my website, dianamarchand.com. And anyways, whatever you choose, I just hope that you truly choose to focus on the health aspect of it and also on the inner you and growing and changing and making those changes and evolving into the person that you really see you want to be and have the life that you really want to have. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful night. Bye.